Now, it's kind of funny. Okay. So how many students we have? 1, 2, 3. Yunesh, Pulpa, Sharmila. 3. Ganga 4. Yuvraj 5. Trishka 6. 6. Ko छैन Vijay छैन. He's probably sleeping. Match हेरेर Match हेरी सुतिरहेछ Vijay. And a few more students. Okay. Bibutsa. Bibutsa छैन. Praveen. Praveen is done, I think. Now, let's look at this. Anything we have? Okay. Now check this. This is something you all have copied, right? Now, if you look at the artist thing, this is something, as I said, you all have copied. Artist must say, you know, you might consult a variety of books, but at the end, if you do consult a variety of books, or you look at different websites, at the end, kura garne chahiye yaina, right? So this is more like the distilled information. Okay, this is never ela khaya jasto. Okay, चट्ट खायो यसलाई खायो अनि त्यो हुन्छ नि त्यो खैरेलाई त्यो रेस्टुरेन्ट त्यो बोतलमा चट्टै फ्लेम बाल्दाखेरि ब्लुट्ट बल्छ क्या त्यसो oh my goodness, that's what we are drinking there. All right, hot stuff. So what I'm trying to say is this is more like distilled stuff. So no matter what you look at the end, this is what you come to, RTS. So it's about skimming, scanning, hunting for keywords, intensive reading. Now, when you think about RTS reading comprehension, we know there are 3 passages. We know every passage is divided into paragraphs. We know for most of the passages, there are headings, but not all. Sometimes you might come across a passage where there are no headings to blur within, so you will not know what the passage is about. But in most cases, of course, the headings. Now, a passage is around 800 plus words in the RTS, the same as that as TOEFL. So it's not a very long passage, neither is it a short one. Now, when you look at RTS passages, the more the paragraphs you have, the better actually it is. All right. So if you have more paragraphs, the more the merrier. You know why? Because let's say you've got 8 paragraphs or 7 paragraphs of 800 words, the paragraphs are shorter. So when the paragraphs are shorter, it's easier to understand the passage. But then sometimes the same 800 words RTS passage, it can be delivered in 3 paragraphs. Now the paragraphs are longer. Now when you have longer paragraphs, you have more points in it, you have more ideas in it, and understanding that can be a little difficult. So always remember, more paragraphs, well, you know, यसो हेर्दाखेरि एउटा optical illusion हुन्छ paragraph थुप्रो देख्दाखेरि oh, it's a very long passage. But remember, RTS को average length 800 words को. All right, so long and short passage. तीनवटा passage त्यही length को. Now, when you are reading, and in the paper-based RTS, I'm mostly focused on paper-based, right? Your computer-delivered RTS method to, you know, that advantage is not there. A paper-based RTS, the passage is right there in front of you. Okay, you're reading the passage, you have a pencil, you're marking important words on the question paper. And when you read individual paragraph, first Machai, you skip. Sort of 20 minutes, you take 5 minutes to read the passage. Now, just think of it. 20 minutes for each passage, but you hardly get 5 minutes to read. So 5 minutes of reading, please don't try to understand everything of the passage. RTS, my main problem still. Why students score less in RTS reading is because half the time they don't understand the passage properly. Why don't they understand? Because they're being overly ambitious. They try to understand everything in 5 minutes. Not possible. So in 5 minutes, please do not try to understand everything. So in 5 minutes, the purpose, or a paragraph, you get a general idea. All right, this is the main idea. Any side. When I see rule number 1, when you go through individual paragraph, paragraph, you should be able to say, well, I'm not sure, but I think. Remember too, eh? It's not like, oh, I'm very sure. I'm very, very sure. Your paragraph ko chahiye, your paragraph ko chahiye. No, you won't get the time to be very sure. You only get the time to say, I'm not very sure, but I think your paragraph say it deals with this. This paragraph deals with this one. So when you say, I'm not very sure, the you चाहिँ होला main idea भने that's good enough. The Altiesको 5 minutes reading चाहिँ त्यति नै चाहिने र त्यसको लागि चाहिँ हामीले के गर्नु पर्यो I've told you earlier rule number 1 zip your lips you will not move your lips so the moment when you're concentrating you move your lips so the moment you find you're moving your lips all right शर्मिलाले पढ्दाखेरि ओके आज जान्नु छैन हो जान्नु त पुरा है अगाडि स्क्रिनमै यसो आएर उसको त पुरा त्यो स्क्रिनमा आएर आज जान्नु छैन सबै so you should not be doing that. All right. So rule number 1, you'll zip your lips and mentally. Rule number 2, you'll not try to read and understand everything in one reading. So every paragraph at least twice per minute. Every general idea हुन्छ अनि त्यहाँ साइडमा लेख्ने. अब computer delivered test you can see the passage on the computer screen. त्यहाँ कोर्नु मिलेन, you'll have a separate sheet of paper, scratch paper दिन्छ त्यहाँ लेख्नु पर्यो. है तर पेपर बेस्डमा चाहिँ एउटा एडभान्टेज के छ सेपरेट पेपरमा लेख्नुभन्दा डिरेक्टली त्यहाँ लेख्यो so that's what you have to read. Now, when you're reading, you're actually looking for two important things. Main idea of each paragraph. Number 2, how is the paragraph organized? So त्यसको लागि you're asking two important questions. Questions like, does the paragraph contain a topic sentence? Does it have examples? All right. So you may have a topic sentence, you may have more than one. And usually the first or the last sentence is the topic sentence, or sometimes it could be right in between. You don't know. Sometimes you may not have a topic sentence. Right? So these are things you need to ask yourself. Right, takes that. So 5 minutes of skimming, all right, it gives you general information, and then it's time to scan. Scanning will actually give you the answer. Right? So passage scan, and then you look for keywords and phrases. And then you read in detail. So this will give you the answer. Scanning, hunting for keywords, intensive reading. So skimming will not give you the answer. Skimming simply prepares you to get to the answer. Right? So that's what it's all about. Right. Now, let me see you got the two, if you remember, last the list of headings, Matthew. All right. We were here. Another, I think we were dealing with this. Were we here? I mean, you discussed Gordathu?
Yes, up to B, sir. B.
B. Okay. So हाम्रो A को आन्सर हेरौँ भनेपछि हामीले अब यो एक्जामिनेसनमा चाहिँ सपोज यो आयो प्यासेज ABCD ABCD सम्म मात्रै अब यो सर्ट छ है ABCD सम्म आयो भने हामीले के गर्नु पर्यो 5 मिनट्समा वी हेभ टु रिड क्विकली खर्र पढ्यो है अनि पढेर चाहिँ यसको मेन आइडिया साइडमा लेख्यो एन्ड एज वी रिड वी आस्क ourselves do we have a topic sentence भनेर okay so एउटा topic sentence गर्नु पर्यो sometimes you may have topic sentence you may not have topic sentence do I have examples lots of examples several 18th century cities example हैन त्यहाँबाट फेरि अर्को लिस्ट अफ हेडिङ्समा जानु र हाम्रो फर्स्ट वानको लागि चाहिँ टेक अ लुक फेरि A र B टेक अ गुड लुक So go through A and B quickly. Okay, so let's look at A. A को चाहिँ हाम्रो आन्सर थियो. What was the answer for A?
3, sir.
3, exactly. Because if you look at A, let's go back to A again. We have more or less a topic sentence. The notion of planning entire communities prior to the construction is an ancient one. And then 4th century BC, 1666, 18th century, when you right from BC देखि को अहिले आउँदैछ oh by the way यहाँनिर if you notice 4th century BC लेखेको छ नि हैन BC त्यति बेला भन्थ्यो before Christ भनेर राइट अहिले हामीले BC लाई चाहिँ कसरी लेख्छ थाहा छ the more recent one is BCE all capital letters so rather than writing BC we write nowadays BCE. Please remember it, right? So rather than BC. So if you find something like BCE, it means the same as BC. So with this, now if you go back here, you might notice that we have, where are we? Urban planning has a long and varied history. It's all about history, right? From ancient times to 16th century, 18th century. So this go best answer. Now, let's move on to B. One of the most important planned city concepts, the Garden City movement. So this is about Garden City movement. This was a direct reaction to pollution and overcrowding. So that's about the Garden City movement. 1898, Ebenezer Howard. That's about Garden City movement. Example. So पछि that idea was put into place by one more example. यहाँनिर Hertfordshire Letchworth and later on Orco Welland Garden City. So these are all examples. So let's get back to this. Answer for that. The answer for that was 5, the fifth one. अब यस्तो हुन्छ है regarding अब एउटा pronunciationको कुरा हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो हामीले नम्बर लेख्छ नि इङ्ग्लिस नम्बर 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 भनेर है त्यसलाई चाहिँ 1 2 3 4 भनेर पढ्छ तर यो जुन चाहिँ यो छ दिस आर रोमन न्युमरल्स हैन यो इङ्ग्लिस भन्दा रोमन न्युमरल्स हो सो वी डोन्ट रिड इट एज 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 को इङ्ग्लिसको न्युमरल छँदैछ सो टेक्निकली यसलाई हामीले पढ्दा चाहिँ फर्स्ट सेकेन्ड थर्ड फोर्थ फिफ्थ सिक्स्थ भनेर पढ्छ right? Not 1, 2, 3, 4. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Now, some students, a lot of students, curiously, मैले देखेको स्टुडेन्टहरूले I, IV. No, that's not how you read it. त्यो त कबड्डीको रिमेक जस्तो भयो कबड्डी 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 भने जस्तो भयो है So you can't say that I. Right, so first, second, third, fourth. So we already have this answer. Where are we? For A and B. यो भयो हाम्रो A को लागि. This is for A. Let me write that. This is for B. Now let's go on further. Here we go. Let's look at C. Don't go slow. Don't move your lips. Always be aware. Zip your lips. Go through it quickly. Repeat it several times. Okay. Now, as you read, what you might have noted, I will use it. It's about general practice. The more we practice, the better we understand. In the early 1920s, American architects Clarence Stein and Henry Wright, inspired by Howard, this guy Howard, right there. So, the paragraph, second paragraph. Inspired by Howard's ideas and the success of Letchworth and Welwyn, created the city of Radford, New Jersey. Okay, the two architects created the city of Radford, inspired by Ebenezer Howard's ideas. Now, what kind of city was it? So the entire paragraph is about the city of Radford. Conceived as a community that would be safe for children, Radburn was intentional design so that the residents would not require automobiles. No automobiles. Right. Safe for children. Several urban planning designs were pioneered at Radburn that would influence later planned communities, including the separation of pedestrians and vehicles. There were separate pedestrian pathways and the use of superblocks. Okay, and then there was a commonly held parkland. So these were some of the changes. But all of these changes, if you might have noticed, you survey, these are changes that are implemented in the city of Radburn. So when we say it's about a particular one city, Emily Portico. So let's look at the heading. Now, when you pick an answer, you always pick an answer that you read in paragraph. You'll not pick an answer that you think was not mentioned in the paragraph. Our paper-based massage you can go back and forth. Question area, paragraph area, question area. I know. Today, my family members are very talkative. Right, so let's display this one city of Radburn. How the city was inspired, how the idea was inspired by Ebenezer Howard, and how the city was conceived as safe for children, no vehicles, and there were lots of new ideas. Separating vehicles and pedestrian pathways, super blocks, planned city with parkland in between, greenery too. So let's see. Number one, Eru, the future of urban planning in America. You answer Unisoksa?
No.
No. Kira future ko ke dego chaina. Urban planning thik sir. Future ko thik future ko dego chaina, and therefore it's not an answer. Let's see. Number two, conflicting ideas through the history of urban planning. So urban planning overall history ma conflicting banega, opposing ideas. So we're not studying about history of urban planning. Khali we studied about one particular city, Radburn. So that's not an answer. Yeah, I'm already used. Very second. Number four, financial problems helped spread an urban planning concept. Analyze financial problems ko bare. Yही छैन. So eliminate. त्यसपछि यो 5 हामीले युज गरिसक्यो. 6, political change obstructs progress in urban planning. Is there anything about political change? छैन. Okay, no politics. Last one, urban plan to reduce traffic. Urban plan to reduce traffic, the best possible answer. Urban plan, the plan of Radburn to reduce traffic. How is that so? To reduce traffic? You say एकदम specific say. Conceived as a community which should be safe for children, Radburn was intentionally designed so that the residents would not require automobiles. So there'll be less automobiles, it will be safer to reduce traffic. So exact word automobiles, right? But it's synonymous. Automobiles भनेको ट्राफिकको कुरा. So best answer. All right, so this is how we have to deal with list of headings. And no wonder list of headings भनेको एकदम challenging question हुन्छ. And for a majority of students, your list of headings मा चाहिँ अलिकति problematic देखिन्छ. All right, so त्यो भयो हाम्रो list of heading question. Now, त्यो जुन चाहिँ मैले मेटेरियल तिमीहरूलाई पठाएको छु सबले रिसिभ गर्यो होला 1 to 9 हैन सबले रिसिभ गरे त्यो चेक एनी अफ इट जस्तै 7 बाट हेर जुनै पनि एउटा 4 1 2 3 4 सम्म अहिले नहेर स्टार्ट फ्रम 7 या 5 तिर है त्यो रिडिङ कम्प्रिहेन्सनमा के हुन्छ भने मैले पठाएकोमा 7 को चाहिँ थियो लेट मी चेक 7 को test 1 book 7 test 1 page number 22 making every drop count एउटा example right if you look at one set making every drop count we know एउटा passage मा 13 वटा question हुन्छ अर्कोमा 13 लास्टमा 14 हुन्छ हैन 13 13 14 for every question average मा altest मा you get 1 minute but list of heading questions मा चाहिँ average मा you get 2 minutes for every question why 2 minutes because it's time consuming. The 2 minutes पनि कम हुन्छ है किनभने 2 minutes मा you have to read one entire paragraph. Paragraph कहिले काहीँ यो भन्दा धेरै लामो हुन्छ यो paragraph पढ्यो यो paragraph बुझ्यो main idea and then from the list of headings हामीले choose गर्नु so on an average 2 minutes for list of headings. So as and when you have a list of heading questions you get 2 minutes to read. So if you have a list of heading questions, you will go straight away ani यसमा चाहिँ no skimming, you'll go straight away to intensive reading. Straight away एउटा paragraph देखि सुरु गरिहाल्नु पर्यो पढ्नु किन एभरेजमा 3 4 6 वटा सम्म क्वेशन हुन सक्छ हैन so 3 वटा 4 टा हो भने you're getting 8 minutes. If you get 6 questions, you get 12 minutes. But you see, average you're getting 2 minutes for every question. So intensive reading. But if you don't have a list of heading questions, 5 minutes skimming. So please remember this. If you do not have a list of heading questions, you're going to skim for 5 minutes. But if you have a list of heading questions, don't waste your time skimming because you have to read in detail. So in such a case, you'll go and start reading in detail, intensive reading. Okay. So that's what we call as list of heading questions. And this is going to be pretty much challenging. But any question? Any confusion, sir? Any questions? Let me know. Ganga? Okay, so you पढेको थियो?
No, sir.
No? Okay.
पढेको थिएँ त
पढेको थिएन है त्यो भनेपछि स्किमिङ स्क्यानिङहरु सब छुटेको थियो रहेछ lot of things
हैन पढेको थिएँ सर यो चाहिँ
ए okay how about
list of headings and
how about this discuss skimming scanning and anything on that
यो चाहिँ थियो सर यो भन्दा पछाडीको चाहिँ थिएन जस्तो लाग्यो
how about you questions
थियो सर यो पनि
okay okay never mind we are here so this is our list of heading questions so any question here Yuvraj Trishla
no sir
Yuvraj Anna turn on the video let's take a look at the alien video there you are oh गर्मिसक्यो युवराज all right so this is called a list of headings now I'll stop sharing this we'll try more of list of headings and for that I have to It's getting stuck. It's getting stuck. No. Okay. I'll close this. We'll try more of list of heading questions. So I'm just about to display another list of headings. Okay. All right, so I'm going to share the screen and display another list of headings. It's a Altisco official practice. The one I displayed earlier, that is from the Cambridge Official Guide book. Right? This is the official Altis list of headings. Now, here's the passage. Section A, यसको heading छैन है, यसको माथि blur छैन. Okay, passage को माथि दिएको छैन, blur छैन. So we have section A, B, C, D. Oh, D is a pretty long one. Did you notice? Once again, A, ठिकै छ, manageable. B त अझै short छ. C पनि manageable. Right. D, if you look at it, that's long, goes on to the next page, pretty long. So D contains a lot of information. And then we have E, manageable paragraph, and F. So A, B, C, D, E, F. We've got 6 paragraphs here. So that will be the average length of a passage. That will run into 2 pages. On an average, you've got 800 words. Now, here is, well, here are the questions. Okay, list of heading, cool. Here are some of the questions. All right, so this is what you call as list of headings. Now, in this list of headings, how many questions? 9 questions. You headings were 9 options, sorry, headings option. Number of questions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First one was section A, B, C, D. But if you notice E, okay, E has been used as an example. So section E, the 6th answer has been used as an example. So we can eliminate the 6th answer because it's already been used as an example. Section E now भयो. So it's 6 paragraphs. We have a total of 5 questions. And section A भयो, B भयो, C भयो. र अब एक्जाममा चाहिँ के भने यो सबलाई स्किम गर्ने काम छैन. We go directly to the questions and we start reading in detail. Right. So you could actually take a quick look at the overall list of headings and then start right away with A and then pick the best possible answer. All right. Now, what would be some of the best strategies to read? It's always about paraphrasing exact words. So before we start right away, I may do a kuro. Okay. Where are we? Here. Okay, just a moment. List of headings. Heading. Okay. Tells. Okay, you're the exercises. Okay, so let's go right away. So I'm going to display the passage. Sir? Clear? Sabले bujhne gari cha? I'm sure you can read it clearly. If it's not very clear, let me know. So first to read section A. It's like any other list of headings. So as you read, try to find out if there's a main idea, if there is a topic sentence. Search for examples. So ask yourself, do I have a topic sentence here? Are there examples? Sometimes you may not have a topic sentence. Now, yache, if you look at it, looks like there's a topic sentence, eh? Yache topic sentence so just this. The very first sentence. The role of governments in environmental management is difficult but inescapable. Check this. So that looks like a topic sentence. The role of governments. It's all about governments. In what? Governments became a deal got I say environmental management. So governments are trying to manage the environment. It's difficult. The role is difficult, but it's inevitable. It's unavoidable. In other words, it's inescapable. It will happen. Governments will try to manage the environment. So this is the topic sentence. Why, if you check the next sentence, sometimes the state, obviously, state means the government, tries to manage the resources it owns and does badly. Often, however, oftentimes, the government acts in an even more harmful way when it tries to manage its resources, and governments, they're bad in managing resources. But very often, they're worse in managing resources. So also a very impression about government trying to manage resources, it's not very positive. And then check those. There are a whole lot of examples. Okay, so when you read, remember, Malike Vandachu, rule number 1, zip the lips. Rule number 2, you got to go through it quickly, repeat it several times. But I'm your topic sentence bio. Government tries to manage the environment and they do it badly, right? And why is it bad? Because here, say right, they subsidize. You know, they give more money. So if the farmers are investing 1,000 rupees, the government will pay 400 rupees to the farmers. So at the end, farmers have 1,000 rupees, but they're only investing 600 rupees. Let's say, for example, 400 the government would have. This subsidy, it has created a lot of environmental damage. That's the author's main point. And in growth and environmentalism can actually go hand in hand if politicians have the courage to confront the vested interest that subsidies create. See, the author is not in favor of subsidies. So all of these words, they all support the first sentence. The role of governments in environmental management is difficult but inescapable. Now, let's look at the options. We have already eliminated 6 as an answer. 6 को example my use this, okay, sir. So we don't have to worry about 6. Now look at the rest of the headings. So try to pick the best answer. J to A को content, sir. Okay, don't go beyond it.
5.
You not try to match an answer just because you find the word in it. Okay, Trishlale, fine. Governance and management of the environment. Looks like that's a good answer, right? Check this. Governance and management of the environment. That looks like a good answer. Or answer. Okay, so suddenly looks like it's 5. You have no answer. Our entire paragraph, the first sentence, it was about governments and how they try to manage the environment. Now, let's look at the first one. Why first one is not the answer? The probable effects of the new environmental international trade agreement. International trade agreement. First paragraph. So that's not the answer. Second, the environmental impact of modern farming. Nothing mentioned about modern farming. Third one, farming and soil erosion. Nothing mentioned about soil erosion. We didn't read that in paragraph A. Fourth, the effects of government policies. Take us a government policy, but here it says in which countries. So look at your keyword. These are missing, right? Yeah, international trade bio. Okay, all of these keywords are missing. That's why they are not the answers. Tabara 6 is already used as an example. Tabara 6 the effects of government policies in poor countries. There's nothing about poor countries. Rich or poor, farming and food output. Nothing mentioned about food output. The effects of government policy and food output. Khali effects of government policy on the environment. Our answer is about the environment. Nothing to do with food output. New prospects of world trade. Where's mention about world trade? So that's not our answer. And hence, we eliminate all of those, and our answer is the fifth one. Good. So now let's move on further. We'll look at the next paragraph, and that's got to be B. So here we are, section B. Don't move your lips, remember. Go through it quickly. Okay. If we could find a topic sentence or something. Topic sentence. No activity affects more of the Earth's surface than farming. Okay, so farming seems to affect the Earth's surface most. Now the next sentence starts with it pronoun. Pronouns are excellent connectors. It we are referring to farming of the first sentence. So there's a very strong connection between the first, second sentence. So farming is an activity that affects the Earth's surface most. How? It shapes a third of the Earth's land area, not counting Antarctica, and the proportion is rising. A third of Earth's area. Okay, it affects that. However, slowly, if you start reading here, world food output per head has risen by 4%. Food output world food output. So agriculture is the most common activity affecting Earth, and the food output has increased. And then higher yields, last sentence one, have been achieved by increased irrigation, higher yields. When it's more output, fair, output ko kura hundas. Higher yields. More food has been produced. How is that so? And how has more food been produced? Because of this reason. By increased irrigation, better crop breeding, and a doubling in the use of pesticides and chemical fertilizers. So these are reasons how food output has increased. These are the reasons, the causes. So if you look at it, your paragraph overall, that's about farming, how farming affects a third of the world. And with farming, the food output has also increased because of such things. But it's the idea, right? Let's not go any further. All right. Now, this is kind of annoying every time. All right. Okay. Now let's go back to the heading. So no need to think about 6, no need to think about 5. And we were in question number 2, section B. So best answer, Football.
हजुर sir.
Give me an answer. 5 or 6 the porena. 5 family worker use gare, 6 to as an example use gare.
I think second. 7 होला sir.
हाम्रो फेरि look at the passage. Let's go back. Paragraph. यहाँ topic sentence. Farming has affected a third of the world's Earth's surface. अनि यो सबै farming को विषयमा छ अनि food output को विषयमा छ. हामीले keyword पनि गर्यौं नि त world food output. Higher yields. So how are we getting more food? Because of the use of irrigation, better crop breeding, pesticides, chemical fertilizers. त्यति हो र हाम्रो main idea त्यति नै छ. So with all of those, I made a list of headings here. Right. So look at number 1. Probable effects in international trade. Nothing given. Environmental impact of modern farming. Okay, quite close. If you're not sure about an answer, don't eliminate. Right? So suppose I'm number 2 पनि राख्यो. Farming and soil erosion. Farming to soil erosion, nothing given. So eliminate. The effects of government policy in rich countries. Nothing given about rich countries. 5 use gare, 6 use gare, poor countries. Farming and food output. Looks like a good one. Topic sentence farming. अनि हामीले food output को पढेको थियौं. So this looks like the best answer. 8. Effects of government policy and food output. Food output, yes. But it's related to farming, not government policy. But maybe 7 is still better than 8. And the new prospects of world trade, nothing given. So now let's compare 7 with 2. Environmental impact देखो छैन. Farming मात्र देख्छ. So the best answer is farming and food output. Right? So हामीले जहिले पनि list of headings have a big picture. We're looking for the big picture. Okay? So please note down. Copy, I'm sure, Chomata. Write down list of heading questions. List of headings. Your question is called list of headings. Yeah, matching headings. Matching headings, yeah, list of headings. All right. Point number 1. Average time to answer each question is 2 minutes. Write down. Average time to answer each question is 2 minutes. So on an average, you get 2 minutes to answer each question. Okay, point number 1. Point number 2, when you have a list of heading questions, when you have a list of heading questions in a passage, when you have a list of heading questions in a passage, you're लेखेन भने चाहिँ बिर्सिन्छ है. Okay, that's why I'm telling you to write. We can't remember everything. So when you have a list of heading questions in a passage, do not skim the passage. Do not skim the passage. Full stop. Instead, you will read the passage intensively. Intensively on a detailed reading. Instead, you will read the passage intensively. Okay, you'll read the passage intensively. Underline the last 2 words. Read the passage intensively. Okay, 3-4 word like read the passage intensively. Underline. Now, how to read the passage intensively? Okay, then your arrow बनाएर चाहिँ त्यसको तल, of course left hand side मा हुन्छ त्यो read the passage intensively लेखेपछि draw an arrow from there, त्यसलाई point गरेर A एउटा point. So how to read intensively, right? Read each paragraph in detail. Read each paragraph in detail. I'm writing very short sentence, easy to remember. So point number A, read each paragraph in detail. Stop. Point B, see if you can find a topic sentence See if you can find a topic sentence. And then we'll continue. Usually, the first or the last sentence is the topic sentence. Usually, the first or the last sentence is the topic sentence. Full stop. Sometimes it could be in the middle. Usually the first or the last sentence is the topic sentence. Sometimes it is in the middle. Next sentence, sometimes you may not have a topic sentence at all. Sometimes you may not have a topic sentence at all. Sometimes you may not have a topic sentence at all. Full stop. In such a case, when I say if you don't have a topic sentence, in such a case, the topic number, in such a case, the main idea is implied. In such a case, the main idea is implied. IMPLIED. कसैलाई बुझ्नु अलिक गाह्रो पर्यो भने do let me know है मैले बोलेको बुझेन भने. In such a case, the main idea is implied. IMPLIED after implied bracket मा लेख्ने. Stated indirectly. Stated indirectly. Indirectly. Okay, so point A, point B. Now let's go on to point C. Repeat the same process for the other paragraphs. Repeat the same process for the other paragraphs. Repeat the same process for the other paragraphs. Okay, so the point let me explain again. हामीले list of headings मा के गर्ने भने list of headings मा चाहिँ you're not going to waste your time by reading the passage. किनभने यो त्यसै पनि डिटेलमा पढ्नु परिहाल्यो. So why skim? Skimming is pointless. And after 5 minutes of skimming time, we can save time by reading it in detail. अब डिटेलमा पढ्दा के भयो, for every question on an average you have got 2 minutes. Remember, Altisma, the rest of the questions, average time 1 minute, list of headings, time consuming. And the orca questions are matching lists. Your headings, your time consuming. Except you do the question time consuming. Average time is 2 minutes. So 2 minutes, it's got to be fast. 2 minutes more, we try to locate if there is a topic sentence. So topic sentence usually counts the first or the last sentence. Sometimes it could be in middle. Sometimes you may have more than one topic sentences. And very often you may not have a topic sentence. A topic sentence, the information or the main topic of the paragraph is not directly mentioned, it's implied. And a topic sentence just first sentence topic sentence second sentence topic sentence. So we understand topic sentence the entire paragraph is about farming and food output, high yields, it's about farming and food output. Topic sentence have the first government, environment. Okay, so it's all about government and environment. So it's easier to understand a passage when you have a topic sentence. But sometimes you may not have a topic sentence. All right, so in such a case, topic sentence now, you have to look at an implied meaning. But on an average, you get only 2 minutes. So for every paragraph, you do that, you look at examples, and then you choose the best heading. Now, when you choose the best heading, all right, never pick an answer just because you find the words are mentioned. Just first one, governance and management of the environment. Right, environment. Environment, this could be an answer. That's where we go wrong. Just second one, it was about farming and food output. The eighth one, the food output, sir. So someone might say, oh, food output. So you're not trying to match an answer just because the word is there. You have to read the entire sentence. Yeah, the phrase food output is there, but it's related to the effects of government policy. Whereas in a case, the paragraph contained farming, nothing about government policy. Yeah, farming is a field. Okay, third one. But there's nothing mentioned about food output. It's about soil erosion. Yeah, very farming. But this is about modern farming. And there's nothing mentioned about modern farming. So please remember, you've got to be very careful about these things. So these are the traps for you. And if you don't read carefully, you'll probably fall for these traps. So I want you to practice more of list of heading questions. So I've given you 1 to 9. All right, look at those random passages. Let's say book 1, 2, 3, 4. Then look for list of headings. And get more practice. Right. So we'll end it here today. Tomorrow we'll look at more of you complete list of headings. You next question on this matching information. All right, which is still time consuming as list of headings, but it's kind of different. Yes, no, not. All right, and there are other questions. Okay. All right, so good night.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Good day and good night, everybody. So we'll
Thank you, sir.
Okay, questions, anybody? Sharmila,
Yes,
your video is never on. Sharmila, all this video on. Good. Any questions? Trishla, okay, questions, sir?
No, sir.
No question. Sharmila?
No, sir.
Okay, good. So nobody has a question. Trishla, तिम्रो त्यो डिभाइस चाहिँ सिधा राख है, त्यो भिडियो गेम खेलेको जस्तो भइरहेको. All right, so we'll meet tomorrow. Okay? Right? So take care. Have a good day.